Hey guys, so I wanted to talk to you all about eyebrow waxing because I really need a brow wax and I thought that's a great time to show everyone. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that today. The first thing that I want to point out is that my hair is wet because, at least for my hair, because it's dry, even if you have really short hair, all these little baby hairs or frizzies are gonna get stuck in the wax and you're gonna end up like waxing your head. You don't wanna do that. So I've just found that it's really easy if my hair is wet because then it lays down because it's nice and heavy and kind of sticks together, you know. Also, I have a really big fat headband on and I'm actually gonna show you this. It's got some teeth in it and that's gonna help to keep, again, those baby hairs out of the way. I just wanna make sure I get all of that pulled back nice and tight because I don't wanna wax my head again. Okay, so you can get an at-home wax kit. A lot of places, Sally's has some decent ones. The one that I have is actually really old, but it's just, you plug it in, it's got a warmer. This is the GG wax kit. It's got a cover, you take the cover off and the wax sits right inside. You can get refill pots of wax if you need them. So I like to heat my wax up to like a medium, a low medium, because I don't want it to be too hot. You can always make it warmer. To cool it down and burn yourself is really dumb. So don't do that. Just be really careful. Test a patch like on the top of your hand because that skin's a little bit less sensitive if you're really worried about it. But just remember, your eye skin is a lot more sensitive than your regular face skin or anywhere else on your body. So you really need to be careful and not burn this area, especially when you're waxing underneath. You don't want to rip, you know, layers of skin out and have burns there. It's really not fun. So a couple rules with waxing. The first one is don't wax the same area twice. So where I put wax, I want to make sure that I get everything that I need because once I've ripped off and taken a layer or two of skin away when I wax, I don't want to put more hot wax there and rip again, or I'm going to peel more layers and I'm going to end up with really bad damage. So you want to make sure that where you wax, you'll see the red line, do not wax there again. So that's the first rule of thumb. The second one, like I said, test your wax, make sure it's not too hot so you don't get burned. If you get into trouble with the wax, let's say it drips on your eyelashes, or you accidentally, you know, you're like coming up here and it drips way down in your brow and you know you're gonna have like razor hash in your eyebrow if you pull that strip off. Stop, don't put the paper over it. Get some oil, even common kitchen oil, because oil is gonna help get rid of the wax, and use some cotton and rub it away and it will take the wax off. Do not rip it off or you're gonna have bald spot. It's really bad. And it's a lot easier to, like I said, tweeze if you know you don't take enough off or that sort of thing. It's a lot harder to fix a brow. I have a friend who actually was telling me she didn't want to post a photo to the page because she had a really bad brow job and it's taking forever to grow back in. Girl, I can sympathize with you. I've had that happen. I had like a half a brow missing for like 6 weeks and it's no fun. Nobody wants that. So take less off. Less is more, and you can always go back with your tweezers and remove extra if you need to. Okay, so the tools I've got, like I said, I've got my wax pot here. I've got strips of wax, or strips of paper, the wax papers, and these are like if you feel them, they're like a muslin fabric almost. It's like a cottony fabric. In fact, it's really difficult. You can't even tear them. You've got to cut them. But I purchased the body strips because they're a better value, and then I just cut them down to the size that I need, because to buy the tiny little strips, you spend about the same amount of money and you get about half of the volume of papers. So I just buy the large ones, and then like I said, I just cut them down to size. This is actually too big. So you can see, you just want it about the size of the square or the rectangle of your brow because you're going to be moving this around. Okay, so there's that. I've got, some people use a popsicle stick to get their wax out. Some people, you know, purchase a fancy tool or whatever. I have found that a bamboo skewer works awesome because I can get enough wax on here, but it's not too much that it's like dripping everywhere. And the one, I have a blunt end on this end so I don't poke my hand. But this end has a really nice point, like a pencil. It's really fine. So I can get way up in here in the little, you know, arch of my brow without getting wax everywhere. If you use a popsicle stick, you kind of run into like, okay, balance the wax, and you like, whoop, like the whole flat stick ends up on your brow, and I'm pretty sure that's how I ended up like half the brow one time. So this is a really great trick and something that I've found and really love. I actually did it by accident because I was out of popsicle sticks and I needed a wax so bad, and I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? And I didn't have the car that day. We only had one car, and so I was like, what do I have that can kind of fill in? And found these in my kitchen cupboard. You can get these at the grocery store. And it works awesome. So that's that. Plus it's disposable, so for hygiene purposes, when I'm done, I can throw it out, or if I need to do someone else's brows, you know, every time I dip the stick, I can actually throw it out, so I'm not contaminating the wax pot. Okay, I'm also going to need some cotton balls, so I have those here. Like I said, my minuscule ones, because I always purchase the wrong size. I never am patient enough to like read the fine print. And then I've got, let's see what else, I have a couple of things. This is, again, the same place that you get your wax. You can get wax supplies. This is the GG Pre-Epilation Dusting Powder. Epilation is a fancy word for wax. And it goes on before, it's a powder, and I'm going to put it on. It actually absorbs any oil that's in your skin because, like I said, oil and wax do not mix. That's why if you have an error, you use oil to get it off, and when you're finished, we'll use oil to remove it, any sticky residue. So you want to get rid of all the oils before you wax to make sure that it really adheres to your skin and really adheres to the hair. And the wax adheres to the powder awesome. So if you dust your brows with it first, it adheres really well and you're able to get a really clean, accurate wax right away. The next thing is, this is the, it's called Pre-Hun, but this is the GG. This is a cleanser basically that you're going to put on before you wax, and it's just like kind of like a toner, but again, it's getting rid of all those oils and that sort of thing. We'll actually do this first and then the powder. The powder goes right before you wax. And then I've got a post-waxing lotion. This is a cooling, calming lotion. Again, you can get this whole kit together at Sally's or a different brand, wherever, I don't care which brand you got. But I really like this because I get really red. And ice cubes will help dim that and that sort of thing, but this really helps calm my skin down and kind of, even though it's still going to be red, I usually do it, you know, wax before I go to bed, otherwise I've got bright red wax marks all day long. But this is a really good calming lotion, and it will help get rid of some of that redness and the inflammation in your skin. Okay, and then you'll also need either baby oil or regular, just like kitchen oil, olive oil is good, to remove the wax. I'm actually going to use a vitamin E capsule because I have them and they're really good for your skin. I got these when I was pregnant, and it's a vitamin E capsule. And just basically all I'm going to do is take one for each side, and when the time comes, I'm just going to puncture the tablet and it will squeeze right under my brow. So just going to get 2 of those out so I don't get this bottle all sticky. Again, you can use any oil you've got at home. Okay, so I have just about everything here. Also, I've started with a fresh face. I don't want any makeup because you're going to end up with either ingrown hairs or you're going to break out from the makeup that's left over, because you're taking layers of skin off and your body's going to heal that all up, and you don't want makeup or debris in there, or it's going to get, you know, infected, and that's when you end up breaking out. So clean face, start with a clean face, exfoliate, wash your face, do your estrogen, all those things before you get started. Okay, so the first thing to get started, I've got, this is the eyebrow comb, and I've got some mini scissors. This is actually from, I believe, a first aid kit, or maybe a sewing kit. I'm not exactly sure where I got these, but they're just tiny little scissors, and they're really sharp, and they have a really good point on the end. You can see that point. There's a really nice point on them, and this is going to trim my brows. I have really thick brows, so if yours are really thin and you're already like scarce and thinking, oh my gosh, I can't lose any more hair, you don't have to worry about this step. But I just want to show everyone from start to finish exactly what I do. And if you've got thick brows, this is really going to be an awesome tutorial for you. Okay, I'm going to take the comb portion, and bear with me because I also have to lean forward and see the mirror at the same time. I'm brushing my brow straight up and almost opposite direction that it would grow. And this is going to look really funny to start, but you can see all of that extra above where my brow would sit. And I'm going to take the scissors and just trim along where my brow would sit. So I can see that line. Here we go. Here we go. Down this way. Okay. Alright, then dust that away. And you can see when you brush it back down, it lays nicely. And right here, mine's a little bit thin, but that's okay because I can fill that in with my pencil the next time that I am putting my makeup on. So let's go ahead and do this side. If I do not trim my brows like this each time, I end up with like a hair that's really long and it hangs down here. Even if I wax up into here, it's like a hair from the top that will actually hang down, and I don't want that. So I'm just coming in and right at the edge of my brow, where the natural brow line is, anything above that area, I'm just trimming. All the way over. And brush it away. There we go. Okay, so they're nice and trimmed, but they're still a mess on the edges. I'm going to show you this. This is really embarrassing. But you can see all of this that needs trimmed out. Let me try and adjust this light a little bit. You can see all of this here that needs removed, and up into here. You can see all those little hairs in there. And that's exactly what I'm going to be removing. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a cotton ball. Start with your pre-appellation cleanser. There it is. And I'm just going to rub it over my brows. And I'm going both directions because I want to get up and under those hairs. I don't want any oil or any kind of nasty sitting up under my brow. Okay. Then I'm going to take the powder. And again, I'm going to use a cotton ball. I've just put some on the cotton ball. My brow really well. Get this all in this area that you're gonna wax, and it's gonna look ridiculous, but you're not going to Target like this. All right, so you can see I've dusted everything and it's really white, but all that powder has absorbed all the oil in my face and in my brow hairs. And that's exactly what I want because the wax is going to adhere really well to those areas. Okay, so now I'm going to take my skewer, my tool of choice. You can use any tool you like. And again, I'm going to really try to get this so you can see it. Alright, so I'm just rolling the wax, and you can see I've got just a little bit on there. I don't want too much. And if you let it hang, you'll see it start to drip down. You see that it's starting to drip down in one direction. So you just, like, twisting it will help it redistribute back over the tool. All right, so I'm gonna start on the bottom on this side, and I'm just going to follow the line that I have. And this is because I've established a line already. If you don't have one established, you can buy a stencil, which I've never tried, but I've seen people use them and it turns out fine. So if you're good with that, fine. If you don't have a good line established, I would just recommend going and paying, a decent amount, not one of those places where you pay $6 or $8, but pay someone $20 or $30 to do your eyebrows once really, really well and get that line established for you, and then you can maintain it at home and maybe go, once or twice a year to kind of have them fix it for you. All right, so I'm just getting this really saturated with wax. I don't want to come down too far onto my eyelid. And I'm making sure to get all the way up in there. So it gets all the little hairs that start to grow in that arch. Okay, there we go. Now I'm just going to take a strip and press it over. And I'm rubbing it because this is giving the wax a chance to cool. But it's also pressing the paper into the wax so that it really gets a good grip. And that way, when I cool, it removes every single little hair. So I'm just using my fingernail, my finger, to really press the paper. And you can see it's starting to form like the shape of where the wax is underneath. It's not sticky at all on this side, but it's starting to adhere. So you just want to give it a couple of seconds, rub it really well. I really like to make sure up in that arch, because a lot of those tend to be stubborn and get stuck. Okay. Alright. Now I want to pull in the opposite direction that the hair grows. So for this side, for example, my eyebrow grows this direction, so I'm going to pull this way. So this one grows this way, I'm going to pull it the opposite direction, which is kind of standard wax procedure. Alright, so I'm going to start on this side. If you've never done this before, count to 3 and just do it. It's like a band-aid. It's really not that bad. I got a story for you, but I won't tell you right now. Okay, so you're just gonna hold this side, and I like to pull my skin a little bit taut so that it doesn't like rip my earlobe off or something. And just 1, 2, 3, pull. There we go. And you can see, look how disgusting that is. That is freaking disgusting. Okay, so I just folded the paper in half. Look how messy. But you can see there's a little bit of wax left here and a little bit over here. So I'm just gonna use the folded paper now and kind of press it in like that. And get that extra wax off, just like that. There we go. Okay, so now I turn really red, so I'm a really good demo because you can see exactly what I'm talking about. All of this that's really red is where the wax was the first time. I don't want to put wax over that same area again because I will rip more skin layers off, and eventually I'm gonna have an infection or like a 3rd-degree burn, and you don't want to do that. Okay, so a little bit more wax, and some people don't do the top. I do the top because I like a really, really clean line. So what happens when you look at the camera rather than the mirror behind you? Perception is way off. Okay, so again, up on the top, following the line that I already have established. You can always add wax. It's really hard to take it off, so keep that in mind. All the way up, all the way down. Getting it all into all that little, all those little hairs so that picked up. And going right to the edge. There we go. Okay. Another strip. And I'm just gonna, again, rub it really well. Give it a second to adhere. And then again, same direction, pulling tight, and you can see again all that nasty. And you can already see how clean this brow is looking. So again, just getting all the extra wax off that's up behind, or as much as I can. Now, some people will wax right here in the center all in one strip. I have found that it's easier, or it's more effective. It removes more of the little hairs in there, especially right here against my brow. If I pull this direction, because these little ones for me go like straight up, and I want to pull down in kind of the direction that I need to. So like for this one, I want to go like southwest. This one will be like southeast. And like to do one strip, I end up with like gobs of wax right here, and I didn't really remove anything except for like right here. So I like to do 2 separate ones. I'll like split the area in half. So I'll show you that. Right here in the center. And again, there's plenty of diagrams on Pinterest about, you know, like a general guideline of where the lines should be. You can take like a pencil and draw lines from your nose to where your brows should go. So you can look those up if you like. Or we can talk about that later too. Just gonna press and rub this. You should actually, if you were to, while I'm rubbing this, I'll show you. If you took a pencil from the corner of your nose and did a straight line this way, your brow should stop at that line. The arch should be, if you drew the line straight through your pupil, should be the tip of the arch. And then if you went straight up, should be the end of the brow. So that's a general guideline about where the brow shape should be. None of this half moon business. That is not how eyebrows grow. And if they do, they're way too bushy and need waxed real bad. Alright, so again, taking that off. And I'm just gonna get this extra off. All the extra I can. There we go. Alright. And now on to the others. Okay, so I'm done with the wax portion of the wax, and I'm just going to clean off my stick as get the most wax I can, as much wax as I can off the stick before I remove it, just to conserve the wax and save money. And I'm just using a whole strip to seal that up so that it doesn't make the garbage can all disgusting. Wax won't. Okay, I'm gonna put the lid back over my wax pot so that it doesn't get disgusting and filled with debris. And then I'm going to use my Q-tip to remove my leftover wax. So I'm just puncturing my, like I said, the vitamin E capsule because that's what I've got. thing for this purpose is I really like to rinse my face when I've washed it down after waxing with really cold water, because that helps again with the irritation or the swelling around your eyes, the redness. It's going to help cool that skin down so that you're left with less red. You can see I'm still a bit pink, but it's not as bad as it was. Okay, so now I'm going to use the Post lotion. There's like 50 different ones in the basket. And again, just on a cotton ball. You only need a little bit. And it's just creamy. And again, it just helps to tone down the redness. You'll feel it. It's like a cooling effect that you really feel in your skin. Alright, so that's that. And then I will take my tweezers. I'm just going to come in here and down here, there's a couple that I want to just touch up and get rid of. Because I can drag my pencil line out. And I want this to quit. Again, if I were to make a line here at my nose, I want it to quit here. Then I want the arch like this through my pupil, straight up. Here we go. So really making sure that this archway, there's one in there, you can see is kind of, I'm going to get rid of that. And I missed. There we go. So that archway is nice and cleared out. There we go. And then over here, this looks pretty good, so I'm not going to worry about it. There is one down here. I want to make sure it's gone. So once I put my makeup on, I want that to be really smooth. Okay? And this side, one there. And of course it's going to be stubborn and I'm not going to be able to get it because it's really short. Huh. Also, my tweezers have a really fine point on them. Just want you to be able to see that. So I'm able to, they're kind of slanted, so I'm able to really grab with that point. Just making sure got everything. I really might be able to see this. Let me scoot this over. There we go. And I'll look on this side. Well, let's turn this a little bit. Okay, so let's look on this side. Alrighty, I think that's about it. Awesome sauce. So there you have it, a full-on brow wax, and then I would just make sure you exfoliate really well tomorrow to get rid of any extra oil that's in there, or as hairs start to grow back like overnight, they're going to start breaking through the surface of the skin. Even though you won't be able to see them, it's going to help so you don't get any ingrown hairs, and that will help with breakouts too. Exfoliating is like your #1 friend, I'm telling you. And then again, you know, this will look so much better the next time I put my makeup on, because all of this is going to be nice and smooth. So all of my concealer, my brow bone, highlighter, shadow is going to look really smooth and nice, and I'll be able to create a really, really clean line on my brow. So I hope you guys learned something and that you had lots of fun. And the next tutorial, why don't you leave a comment about what you'd like to see next. Maybe we'll do the polished pony next. I know that was the second runner-up hairstyle that you all wanted to see. but that's for tomorrow. I'm getting really excited about Saturday. It's almost here, and we're going to draw a winner for the first giveaway. So make sure that you post your photo with your eyeshadow look from the eye tutorial, because that is your ticket to enter. That gets your name in the bucket. You've got to share either the page or an image or something like that on your feed and post the picture with the hashtag Becoming Brie giveaway. So I hope you guys do that, and I am so excited about the winner coming up, the drawing, and I will see you all later.